Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News today. I am Emefa Akosiadati. The bulletin is live from our studios here in Kokoblimli, Accra. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Top stories this hour. Sadly, 3 confirmed dead, several homes and cars inundated in Sunday's downpour with more rains expected. We'll be live to our reporter on the ground in the Adenta municipality, one of the most impacted areas. And as well, minority in parliament accuses Energy Minister John Jinapor of seeking to make headlines rather than fix the challenges in the power sector. We have details as they set nearly 10 demands they want the John Mahama government to tackle in the energy sector. And as well, later in the bulletin, former Vice President and NPP's 2024 presidential candidate Dr. Bawumia apologizes to Ghanaians for the party's defeat in the last elections, but says he remains confident of a strong comeback, predicting victory in the 2028 polls. We've got these as well and more on the bulletin. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us this afternoon. We'll start with the sad news. 3 people having confirmed dead and many others displaced from Sunday's devastating downpour in parts of Accra. The heavy rains also submerged homes and cars, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Affected areas like Lakeside, Adenta and Medina experienced severe flooding, with water rising to alarming levels in some neighborhoods. Emergency services were quickly deployed with rescue teams working to evacuate stranded residents. Collins Frimpong has been touring some of these areas and now joins us with updates from the Adenta municipality. Collins, where exactly are you and what can you report? Well, we shall try and reconnect with Collins to bring us what's happening, especially in Adenta, where 3 sadly have lost their lives following yesterday's rains, and also some cars and properties also destroyed. We'll get back to him at some point when we can and then get to know exactly the situation as of now. But let's engage a local governance expert, and joining me is Amum Kote. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and if you can hear me, let me know if you can hear me, sir. We'll try and see as well to reconnect with the local governance experts to bring to perspective really again how bad the situation can be, drilling it down and see how decentralization and its peak can help us curb this situation. But let's see if I have the local governance expert again with me. Mr. Amum Kote, if you're on, please let me know. Right, thank you for joining us this afternoon. So some analysts really linked blocked drains to informal waste collection cartels. And I'm going to ask this question really because most of the experts and stakeholders have been saying that most of our waterways or our drains have been blocked. How should local governments regulate these operators without destroying their livelihoods?
Well, I wonder if the local government, or for that matter, the various assemblies we have the capacity to do that. Yes. Accra, as we all know, is surrounded by chain mountains, from Shai Usudoku up to Makati Hill. And the free flow of water from the channels or the water basins must lead straight into the sea. Originally or naturally, we used to have wetlands and lagoons to receive this free flow of water. But human activities along the channels to the sea, along the years, have impeded the free flow of water. So, as we speak now, what we can do is to go back and then allow free flow of water. That's all for now, the immediate actions that we can take.
Now, we're also learning that waste collection, drilling it down really, is controlled by cartels. And we're just thinking how the assemblies can manage these cartels whilst they're also solving the problem? Because when it's not regulated well, and especially we don't know where they collect the waste and then go to dump it, which is what you're saying attributes to, it's coming down all the way to block our drainages. I'm asking how the assembly, beyond its capacity, regulate these cartels.
Well, as for the assemblies, we have structural defects to start with. Districts and municipal assemblies don't have waste management departments. And environmental health officers are in charge of waste management in districts and municipals. And Accra has almost over 24 municipals. So if you have health inspectors being in charge of waste management, what are you expecting? Surely we are going to block the channels with waste.
Well, so now we may have to look at the top then, because in Accra here, at least it has multiple drainage actors. We've got the AMA, hydrological services, highways. Does this fragmentation really impede the effectiveness of managing the drainage system in this country? Especially, we must have just one institution that we should just go to when situations like this happen.
Well, Accra itself is overpopulated. We have about 1.5 million people living anyhow in Accra. So, and we now have numerous municipal assemblies. So if you talk about AMA, AMA is within Okaishi area, Bukum, and then Okakwe and Abdekuma. 3 sub-metros forming AMA. The rest are all municipals on their own.
Right.
And I'm saying that municipal assemblies, as the structure is now, they don't have waste management departments. So who is in charge of the waste? And if you have a municipality that has about 250,000 people living in it, how are you going to manage the waste?
What about bylaws that already exist, at least penalizing littering and building in drainage areas?
Yeah, so you are expecting city guards or 20 assembly staff to go and chase 250,000 people. How can that be possible? How can that be possible? So what we are doing in a way is ineffective. So we must go back and do what we call reverse development and go back and do everything again, because it looks as if we touch it when the rains go down, then we all forget about it. Then we revisit it when the sky is open. We can't continue living like this.
Well, the rebirth system.
Residents, about 3 people have died, and also, as I said earlier on, 6 cars, yes, were also submerged in the flood yesterday. We will be speaking with some of the residents that they are living in this particular community, that they are seeing this particular impact. Earlier on, you were telling us about this particular drain. Ose Yenkachi. Situation is say a coin person and my say sana net here dada.
Yes, sir, net here dada. Yes, sit down wa had that not and yes, sir, net here. But we are baby already free in cancer hospital, Kataman Sony way in Yano. We are baby already through here. Over Basso had developed dada. What do we have to her? Oh, Koya now, oh, yeah, day. Yet Munina move here, dear contractor, no year, and I'm here, some judges a year now. And no, other year, Casano Musi day. Yasem, ye. Miss Remo, Mus Remo. Abine brim, Namu by here, Namu by year got ano, etwas got on may got ano my, na ye huntoy. Tietiano.
Contractor Angas were real coin now, or how many months?
By 6 months now. Yeah, Hunuaha.
That's it. So all that he said was that the contractor, as I earlier said, so he started working on the highway, the East Legon highways, and he told them he promised to fix the gutter when he is done. He diverted almost all the drain system to one particular outlet, and this is the end product of the job that the contractor did. But you're frozen.
I said we make the way. Bibia mo de gota da tu no me di kai ka hire mo dada ene me di mo ba ha no be hwe bibia e be pie eye amafo da ya no hwe wa ka sa hwe the way bibia mo de gota no betu amafo aha isoto a oyiri kokrom kra wo mba Otimba, cars at me fame. It's a probably a woman. Probably a woman, no. It is Remu. Yes, Afria, Yerubeko, Yedemu, Bibia, Yedemon in as I say no. It is Tetiano no. Woman, Aban, Yesemu, Mufa to him. I'm a governing no boy. And yes, I had developed that I one cars bebre no nyina go to no nipa wo ma agadan ene no nipa mesa so na we amafo so dem ebubu timisremu.
Thank you. So as just like what the earlier person also said, the contractor's work has resulted into this, even though the area used to experience some sort of flooding, but it wasn't like this. So the impact that we are seeing today is as a result of the contractor on the East Legon Hills Highway that diverted many drain systems to just particular one outlet. And the outlet is this. And this has caused many flooding has caused severe flooding in this community.
Well, my colleague Collins bringing us updates from the Adenta municipality where 3 persons have been reported dead following the flooding yesterday. He's still there. He would engage with the MCE and still bring us what will fall out from that engagement. But away from that, the minority in parliament is accusing Energy Minister John Jenapo of seeking to make headlines than fixing the many problems plaguing the energy sector. Opening the Energy Committee workshop on Thursday, John Jenapo revealed that there were less than 3 days of liquid fuel left to power thermal plants. An announcement the minority is criticizing as sending fear and poor signals to the business community. Ranking member on the Energy Committee, George Kwame Abuaji, is asking Mr. Jenapo to focus on fixing the crippling energy sector challenges instead of seeking to be in the news.
His statements have not only instilled fear among Ghanaians, but have also sent troubling signals to the business community. It is imperative that the minister shifts his focus from public pronouncement to tangible actions that will resolve the ongoing issues plaguing our power sector. It looks like our colleague, the Minister of Energy, seems more interested in making headlines than keeping the lights on. The minister's recent claim that Ghana has only 2.6 days of fuel left was not just baseless, but economically damaging. Such remarks create an atmosphere of uncertainty and instability, which is detrimental to investor confidence. Power is the lifeblood of industry, and such statements send panic through businesses still recovering from the aftershocks of COVID-19 and global economic turbulence. This is not the first time the minister has made statements that paint a bleak picture of our energy situation. During the swearing-in ceremony of the president, he alarmingly stated that Ghana was left with only 5 hours of fuel, a comment he later retracted after clarifying that it pertained to heavy fuel oil, that is HFO, after causing needless anxiety while neglecting to mention that other power plants were operational with available fuel.
Still on the minority, it wants the Public Utility Regulatory Commission to suspend tariff adjustments made earlier this month. Nana Ejeba for Iwa, who wrote the letter to the PURC, joins us with more. So thank you for joining us this afternoon. So you say that the PURC should adjust or should suspend the adjustment that they made on May 3?
Yes, my sister. All I'm saying is that it is in the interest of fairness and equity. It will not be good to overburden consumers with the tariff adjustment in the light of the current widespread erratic power supply. I think that unless same is done, it would come across as though ECG is benefiting right, where where the consumer is currently suffering an inconvenience or discomfort. And
I think that ECG, despite the power or the erratic power supply, you're asserting that there will be benefits. I'm sure you're aware about how the energy sector is already burdened with debts that they need to clear. And PRC rightly will say that they do adjustments based on a certain trend. You'd say that the erratic power supply is enough to want to call off the tariff adjustment?
Of course, you do adjustment based on a certain trend, but it should certainly be based on productivity, right? You cannot adjust where the person is not getting the power. If the person is not getting the power, put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. Let's even take Joy FM. In the absence of regular power supply, what's going to happen is that you're going to fall on generators, right, to support yourself. That is going to come at a significant cost to the businessman. Using Joy FM as an example, right? So Joy FM, whilst paying for fuel to power generators, will now be paying in that also higher cost of tariffs. Would that be fair? We are only saying that in the spirit of fairness.
Okay.
You are saying that ECG is already overburdened with debt. Overburdened with debt as a result of what? As a result of the consumer paying not realistic fees or charges, or because they themselves are not managing things well. We need to be very clear. Because from what we know, ECG has issues of under-recoveries, right? Which is that they are not recovering as much as they supply. Okay. Now, that is the problem of ECG.
It shouldn't be that of the consumer. If I understand, in having conversation with PRCU last week on a few other things such as this, especially when the Cedi appreciated, a few things that I've been learning from the PRCU is that whenever there's an adjustment, even if there has to be a downward adjustment or of the sort or anything looking like that, it will be seen in the subsequent adjustment, not that which has already been implemented. Would that mean anything to you?
Wait, that is procedural issues. That is procedural issues in terms of the timelines, right, when these adjustments would have to be done.
Okay.
Okay. We are looking at the substantive issues, which is that there's a condition which has necessitated the need for a reasonable look at what the consumer is paying.
Right.
Given that in the circumstance of what we are experiencing, the consumer is overburdened in the sense that the consumer is not enjoying the power.
They're not getting what they're paying for. Has PRCU responded to the letter?
Which is paying more for. And it is also looking for alternative power supply, which is costly. And so it's more of a double jeopardy situation.
That point is quite clear, but I'm only asking if PRCU has responded to this request or this letter.
The letter only went to them today.
Okay.
That in the spirit of equity, fairness, and reasonableness, let's suspend it because, it is very burdensome. And I've used Joy FM, a business house, to highlight the burden. That look, you are paying more for electricity, which you are not getting. In the alternative, you have to also procure power supply through generator, which you are fueling at a higher price, at a higher cost, right? It's making businesses it's impacting businesses very grievously.
I'm certain that yourself and Ghanaians as well, and I myself will be looking forward to the response from PRC.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
I'm speaking for all of us.
Thank you so much. Now, away from that, spare parts dealers are asking for a longer period of Cedi stabilization before prices of goods can go down. This is after the Abuseokai Spare Parts Dealers Association in the Greater Accra region directed its members to reduce prices of spare parts in response to the recent appreciation of the Ghana cedis against the US dollar. Now, speaking with Joy News, the traders said a reduction in prices now will affect profit margins.
dollar no da ben start say e depreciate and the nioma wo ho ni nyina nso ye nioma e wo ho dada though the leadership no they are doing very well se si ade betumi aboa se e ka se bibi ye reduce price na na say e depreciate ya those who can feel it are the final consumers. Se e ka final consumers who are those people? Final consumer said that they are me tone se e ka se final consumer or no car owner na say driver na oba beto e de akwa akwahye ne car no one ye final consumer enti said that they we se metono e be first na ye 20 Ghana na final consumer no oba no beto ne 15 cedis a obe feel it se see a enioma ye dey enioma aba form. As I'm speaking to you now no se see a ukwa bank rate ni 12.4 busa hu say e affected the system ana which is no, because se see ano se ukọ na aka se ukọ akwa akoto a unless e be a bank manager be you show all your documents say me passport and me visa ni me take it me yesi and okurapo ni bank manager be a why are you going to get that dollar rate? Ukọ black market as I'm speaking to you now it's 13.8. Some of them are selling it 14. If only they can sustain it, see as any rate in a do no. One bet me maintain na perform the system will be good. And yes, idea price in the eternity because when you my hen na me koto and me on old price.
What Nana Kwame is trying to say is that they need assurance from government that they will stabilize the city for a period of maybe 4 months, 5 months, and then give them a flat rate on their import. And according to him, the goods that they are having currently are goods that they've imported when the cedi was up to 15, 16 per dollar. So they cannot reduce these prices. So he is saying they are also not feeling the impact, just as the general public is not feeling it.
Okay, at the moment, we can just reduce the prices of our goods because the goods that we are having here is an old stock. You understand? So right now, we need to sell them, or we need to get time to sell them, and after that, we need to buy new goods. If actually the prices or the rate, that's the dollar rate, remains the same or even stable, that's when we can say we can adjust the prices.
Because meanwhile, I've been changing dollar about 15.75. as just about 2 months ago, and the goods just arrived about 2 weeks ago. So it's a possibility for me to changing that higher amount and lose that now. It's going to cost me definitely. So if only it will be better, that dollar will come to stay about like other countries. When you go to South Korea, you go to like Dubai and them, they don't have any problem here, problem about dollar. But we only Ghanaians are having this problem because each and every day, dollar is increased. So before you sell your item and gather the money by 6 months or 8 months time, then the dollar has shoot up again. So if I reduce now, definitely I'm going to what? Collapse my company.
Takoya say already no, yakra ne mana badada. Na sisia no, e dey na guarantee say dollar no, e betimi agina up to year end of this year. Say ye hwe ni mu na say dollar na stable, na timi gina up to end of this year. E bedu na ne mana ya stock akra na ho no, na ye kan aton. Nti dollar na e besesa no. Ne bo na ebesesa no eno so na ye de nema ne ba e begina so aton because ye de nema ne ba ye calculate cost no ansa na aton nema no
on say cedi no mote so no nema dada na na guso ye go fa de mabo from my si say lola dey stable ye go fa nema from bana still na sa na tie dia ye beti nema no so.
Now, away from Abasokai, the former Vice President and New Patriotics Party 2024 presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has publicly apologized to Ghanaians for the party's underwhelming performance in the last general elections. Speaking in London, Dr. Bawumia admitted that the NPP made few mistakes which contributed to significant losses in key constituencies.
Doubt, as Chairman Bennett also said, that we didn't get everything right. MPP did a lot of work, there's no doubt about it, but we did not get everything right. We got quite a few things wrong. And I think that on my own behalf, on behalf of the party and the government, I apologize to all of you for us not getting the things right that we should have gotten. We didn't get anything right. I believe that if by the grace of God we have another opportunity, I believe that we will get many things right because we've learned the lessons of where we are going.
Now, despite the setback, he expressed strong optimism about the party's future, stating that the NPP is poised for a decisive comeback in the 2028 elections.
I believe that 2028 MPP is going to come back into government. I believe so. I believe so. There are a few reasons why I'm so convinced about this. Firstly, if you look at our political history suggests that it is usually very difficult for a first-time presidential candidate to win an election in Ghana. I don't know why that is, but Ghanaians want you to come more than one. So there is a sense that in 2028, NDC is going to bring a candidate for the first time. I believe we will have an advantage, all things being equal, over that new candidate coming in 2028. I believe we will have a very big advantage. The second set of reasons that I believe we are going to win is because NDC is actually in government. Why do I say so? In opposition, they made so many promises and told a lot of stories about what they were going to do. And they've now come into government. It's not easy to do propaganda when you are in government. It's very easy to do propaganda in opposition. So they told so many lies in opposition. They said that when they come, they will bring down the cost of kinky and the cost of living. I don't know. Have you noticed the reduction in kinky prices in Ghana? No. Prices are rather going up, whether you are looking at cement or other things. They are not coming down. So I think that, and this is only 4 months or 5 months, you will see that this lie that they told about reducing the cost of living will be more and more exposed as we go forward.
Away from that, I'll take you back to Adenta, where we reported that 3 persons have lost their lives following the flooding yesterday. We have on the line MCE Ella Nongo speaking to us on this situation and what's the way forward. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And so we have just reported that 3 persons have lost their lives, and you will confirm this to us and tell us really what's happening in Adenta now and the way forward for the municipality. Well, unfortunately, I'm unable to speak to her now, but we'll try and reconnect with her as the news still continues. Stay with me. We go for a quick break. When we come back, business, showbiz, and sports.
It's now time for business here on Joy News Today. My name is Winston Taki, and out with first business story. Investor demand for Treasury bills remains subdued as the government missed its target for the 3rd consecutive week. This is according to auction results released by the Bank of Ghana. Despite the weak demand, interest rates continued their downward trend.
Government recorded nearly 20% undersubscription of the Treasury bills auction. It got 5.3 billion Ghana cedis as against the target of 6.7 billion Ghana cedis. About 4.4 billion Ghana cedis came from the 91-day bill, representing 81% of the total bets. The Treasury accepted 2 billion Ghana cedis. For the 182-day bill, 731 million Ghana cedis were tendered. A little over 530 million Ghana cedis were accepted. About 260 million Ghana cedis were tendered for the 364-day bill. The uptake was 1.54 million Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, interest rates continued to drop. The yield on the 91-day bill declined marginally by 6 basis points to 15.1%. That of the 182-day bill also eased marginally to hit 15.7%. The interest on the 364-day bill also went down by 2 basis points to hit 16.7%.
In other development, Deputy Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, has announced government plans to roll out sustainable energy infrastructure, including the establishment of electric vehicle charging stations across the country. According to Mr. Jan Mensah, the initiative will be implemented in collaboration with the oil marketing companies as part of efforts to promote the adoption of electric vehicles and support Ghana's transition to cleaner energy. He made these remarks at the CEO's time with Ambassador and the Minister event organized by the Ghanaian German Economic Association in Accra.
In this year's budget that I witnessed, there wasn't any concession made for that. However, in terms of the electric vehicles, government is making steps. We're actually trying to work with the MPA, the National Petroleum Authority, to rope in the filling station owners to have the renewable energy charging, the EV charging points at respective 4 filling stations for the start. We know some malls and then trade centers have the facility, but because we want to encourage it, most filling stations we are actually working with them to get them at the various filling stations so that we can actually speed up the process. In terms of the long-term effect, I know once government is going in the direction of encouraging the use of much more cleaner fuels, and we want to promote the use of EVs, obviously I know government will consider some of these concessions in terms of the taxes.
We have more business update for you at 1 p.m. on the marketplace. Up next is sports.
I'm now to bring you sports here on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. The Minister of Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, has assured the investigative committee that went into the death of Nigerian boxer Gabriel that his office will ensure that they implement the findings and recommendations of that committee. The 7-member committee submitted its report to the minister on Monday, though they said they were not going to reveal its content to the media. The minister has assured the country that all the details that have been submitted to his office will be fully implemented.
We have submitted a report. It's a 100-page report. We've taken so much into consideration. We've interviewed 30 people. We did interview 30 people in Nigeria, in this country, and in London. So we believe that we've done the best we can. We cannot, and we should not say anything about the contents. It will not be polite. It will be disrespectful to the government to say anything about the contents. We have presented it to the government, and they will have to look at it and accept the recommendations or reject them or add to them. But that is the work of the government, and we cannot. It will not be polite.
You people have been here working, yes, with spiritual and moral support, but we're not able to support you the way we should. But you kept coming and you continue doing it because you did it for the love of country. And like you commended persons you encountered along this investigation, I am also impressed that we have people who will put in their all, even when we did not have everything to make your work comforting. You continued to come, you stayed on, and even did 24-hour work just to finalize and then have this report. We are impressed, we are happy, and we will work with it. It's unfortunate that the Nigerian boxer have to go the way he went, but at least both, not just Ghana, But like Chairman said, the two federations or associations will learn something, and the boxing federations in West Africa and Africa, and possibly even the world, will also learn something. And not just boxing, other federations who sometimes conduct activities without following the laid down processes and procedure. This is a wake-up call that we must all do the right thing.
Up next is Showbiz.
Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline Ansuma Yabua. To our first story for today, the second episode of Joy Prime's Kids Culinary Cooking Show, Big Chef Junior Season 4, saw all 12 contestants enter the kitchen ready for the rice challenge. Each contestant had 45 minutes to finish their tasks, but a twist was introduced that changed the atmosphere in the kitchen. Lois Adeyemi has more in the following report.
Episode 2 of the Kids Culinary Reality TV show dubbed the Rice Challenge saw all 12 contestants enter the kitchen, get up to impress the judges. The judges gave the contestants 45 minutes to shop from the open market and get creative with their rice recipes.
Please, I want a good taste. Balance your food well with your seasoning. All right? Be creative. Present your food well for us to see, okay? I know you are going to do well, all right? Okay, so congratulations to all of you. I'm expecting something great. Clap for yourselves.
So in a nutshell, you have 45 minutes to get the food ready. You have 5 minutes to go and pick up your food. Up!
All right.
Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys.
The judges went round the kitchen making sure that the wannabe kiddie chefs were observing the kitchen rules. Almost 15 minutes to stop work.
Well, next week, the contestants participate in the Indomie Challenge, which is also an eviction episode. Who emerges the chef and who will go home? So tune in to Joy Prime at 4 p.m. every Sunday to catch all the fun and drama in the kitchen. Well, Ghana has lost a voice that once made love feel deeper and heartbreak a little softer. Dada KD, real name Nana Kokudia, passed away on Friday, May 16th at 56. His death came as a shock. One moment he was full of plans and energy, the next, silence. Just silence. We have more in the following report.
Born on Valentine's Day in 1969, Nana Kwekudua, known to us as Dada KD, was music's true love story. From church choirs at 7 to sharing stages with legends like Kojo Entry and Amachi Dede, he played life's melodies with soul. According to his manager Kimpi, it all happened too fast. A house help found him struggling to speak at home. He was rushed to the hospital, but the mic dropped too soon.
Dada KD stay at Tansoma, and he has a cook, somebody who helped him for home chores, and other things. So the lady went to town, and she came back. When she came back, she went to Dada KD's room and said, "Dada, I'm back. Do you want me to do something for you?" When she reached the room, Dada KD was lying on the floor, unconsciously.
Oh.
And unfortunately, our car we are using have a problem. So we have a taxi driver, which we call him for everything we are doing. So the lady called the taxi driver to come and pick Dada to the hospital. And unfortunately, they did not think, oh, let's get him to Kolebu. But what they are saying is, he's a public figure,
yeah.
I think, in private hospital. That's where they start at Sao SDA hospital. And that moment, they have to rush into the theater, emergency room. They put oxygen on him. The doctor said everybody should get out. In 5-10 minutes, the doctor came out and said that he could not survive.
Wow.
Even just a day before he passed, he was planning a big performance in London, excited to share the stage with Obrafour and Slim Basta. But life had other plans. Tributes have poured in, with more celebrities sharing their condolences. And fans across the country are just trying to make sense of it. He once said Ghanaian musicians were the most miserable, frustrated by a broken system. In 2020, he even wrote, "It won't be long before I joined the late Kofi B and Bishop Bernard Nyakon." Now, those words feel heavier than ever. His last performance, a funeral thanksgiving in the US, fitting perhaps for someone whose songs carried so much joy and pain.
Yes, a surprise. Remix.
Dada KD may be gone, but his songs, those soft, soul-touching melodies will never fade. Dada KD may be gone, but his songs, those soft, soul-touching melodies will never fade. They'll keep playing at weddings, at parties, on radio, and in our memories. He sang our stories, and now we'll sing his. Jacqueline and Samaya Boy's report read to you.
May his soul rest in peace. Moving on to other stories. Imagine spending your whole life writing songs, pouring your heart into the melodies, and then one day a machine copies it all for free. That's a fear-haunting music legend, Sir Elton John, who says the UK government is turning its back on artists like him. He slammed ministers for letting AI companies use creative work without paying a dime.
Speaking to the BBC, Sir Elton said he feels incredibly betrayed by the government's move to exempt tech firms from copyright laws. In his words, it's criminal. And he's not alone. Over 400 creatives, including Sir Paul McCartney, have signed a letter demanding better protection from AI. The drama started when the House of Lords pushed for a rule that will force AI companies to be transparent, basically to tell artists when they're using their work. But MPs in the House of Commons said nah, rejecting the change. So now the bill is doing a legal cha-cha, bouncing between Parliament's two houses, while artists worried they'll be left with nothing but auto-tuned heartbreak.
Whatever. Some people aren't like me. They don't earn as much as I do, but when they're creative and it comes from the human soul and not a machine, because a machine isn't capable of writing anything with any soul in it. If you've got to get rid of that and you've got to rob young people of their legacy and their income, it's a criminal offence, I think. I think the government are just being absolute losers, and I'm very angry about it, as you can tell. Big tech has so much money, and if you're a young person and you're fighting big tech, good luck.
He's even ready to take the government to court if things don't change. AI might be learning to mimic voices, lyrics, and vibes, but legends like Sir Elton won't let it steal real music. The fight is on, and it's not just for the charts. It's for rights, royalties, and respect.
I don't know who the tech minister is. What's his name?
Peter Kyle.
Yeah, well, he's a bit of a moron. Sorry.
On that note, is a wrap for the showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline, and Suma Yabua. Over to you, MFA Akosia Adeti.
Thank you so much, Jackie. And I heard what Elton, I heard what he said.
Yeah.
He said what? The minister is what?
Do you want me to say? He said he's a moron.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. It will be all for the bulletin. I am MFA Akosia Adeti. For more news, though, do log on to myjoyonline.com. With our top story, 3 confirmed dead in Adentan flood. MCE blames construction on waterways. Details of that story in our portal, and as well, we shall bring you more of that story in our subsequent bulletins. Many thank you for joining us today. Thank you for watching.